Hey friends, I cannot make this up. Yesterday, September 11 at 4:01 p.m., a guy named David Savlov gets on Twitter and says Aaron Rodgers is going to tear his Achilles. Then boom, friends, look what happened during Monday Night Football. You can't make this stuff up, guys. Happy Tuesday, friends. Stay woke.
Yo, and then you go to this dude's Twitter, account suspended. Oh my God, yo. If you still believe this NFL bullshit, this NBA bullshit is a real game, you are part of the problem. Wake up, my friends.
Lil Wayne exposing the script for the upcoming 2023 NFL season.
I like that. We goody. Wheezy. Here's the script to the 104th season of the NFL. Keep confidential. Your part is on page 9, scene 29, line 23. By the way, we just pre-ordered your new single cat food and can't wait for more. See you at the game. NFL. Okay, this is scene 29, line 23. Okay. I like that. Wait 1 minute. I like that. We goody. I like that. We goody. Wheezy. Here's the script to the 104th season of the NFL. I like that. We goody. Wheezy. Here's the script to the 104th season of the NFL. Keep confidential.
Aaron was telling me about how the NFL is rigged and how every year he used to get a script.
Yeah.
Day one of training camp that would get dropped off at his locker. And you would have to, it was like week 1, you'll do this. Week 2, you're going to have a hamstring injury. Week 3, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Week 4, you're going to get 3 touchdowns. And so then you just have to, did you memorize those before the season started? Or would you go and rehearse the script before every game?
We were really dedicated to it. So it was more so like, that's what practice was about. It was about practicing the script. Like, this is what goes on and this is what we have to do in order to,
And this referee is going to miss this call.
Yeah,
because they hate you and
yeah.
they love the Colts, that
it's
sort of thing.
WWF, so it's like, you know, we know what's going to happen, but you still got to put on a show.
Yeah.
What did you think when you got the script in 2016 that said your career was going to fall off a
What
cliff
do you
when
think?
Stop believing in God.
That was 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NFL is scripted. So we decided to ask players what was their script they got when they were drafted.
My script was that they told me that I was going to tear my ACL my rookie year, and I was actually kind of mad when I saw that, Like, I read my script, and it said, listen, you're going to tear your ACL the last regular season game. And I was sad because that means I missed the Super Bowl and wasn't able to play it.
My script, it was pretty long. I didn't know if I was going to make the league because, trying to learn something like that was pretty tough.
Say my script been pretty crazy because this is my 4th year in the NFL, and I've been to 3 Super Bowls. So when I walked in of day 1, they was like, this what they handed me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that one right there. I'm gonna take the 3 appearances in 4.
I mean, my script was supposed to be making $100 million, but it didn't happen that way, so they lied to me.
There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rukakodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. Today's lesson, we're going to talk about the bread and circuses of Babylon the Great, and how it is designed and set up to entrap the minds of the masses to to keep them off the track, which leads to salvation. But let's read this first. This is Colossians 3:2. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. So you see, this is a warning in the Bible that we must not get distracted by the things of this world, right? In this case, we're talking about the entertainment and primarily sports world. And from those videos that I played in the beginning, you could see it's starting to come out little more every year that the major sports leagues are pretty much set up just as you would the WWE and other scripted entertainment. Right? And currently, we have this drama going around. Right? We've seen the video where Lil Wayne was seen reading his script for the 2023 year NFL season. Right? And guess what? Lil Wayne just happens to be a part of the Aaron Rodgers drama. Okay? So, how fitting that he now shows up all over the news and all these sports syndications bringing up drama like this, say that he doubted Aaron Rodgers and saying how they should have got rid of him, right? And then when you look up a little further, you see that Lil Wayne talks about he should have never doubted Aaron Rodgers, and he goes on to diss Dallas. The whole point being is that, see, this is all scripted. This is all your WWE wrestling match where you have the good guys, the bad guys. You have the players who sustain injuries. Like William Cooper said, man, there is no job that is worth the amount of money that these people get paid. When you look at the spectacle that gets put on around sporting events, it is that exactly, a spectacle. And this is made that way, so that way it hypnotizes those that are attracted to it. You know, and I thank God that He never put the spirit on me to get into sports. Now I'll watch, big games here and there, but it just doesn't allure me. Right? I'm more into different things, namely this word. Now let's go ahead and read some of these articles that also just shows this, right? Shows you where the funding for these sports organizations come from, right? And what, how they're set up, so that way we know that this isn't all just speculations and so-called conspiracy theory. Right here on CNN Business, it says the NFL gets billions in subsidies from U.S. taxpayers. Okay, and it kind of goes on and it just tells you how basically tax money, right? Let's read the first part of it. It says the NFL is the most profitable pro sports leagues in the U.S., raking in an estimated $1 billion in profits on $10.5 billion revenue last season, figures that are sure to increase this year. Those massive profits are made possible in part by the billions of taxpayer dollars that local governments spend on teams, coupled with tax breaks worth hundreds of millions for the teams and leagues, their sponsors, and fans. I've been studying this for 15 years, and I still cannot believe cities and states are lined up begging to give money to these very profitable teams, said Villanova Professor Rick Eckstein, an expert on stadium finance. Here's a rundown. Stadium construction. 20 new NFL stadiums have opened since 1997, and with the help of $4.7 billion in taxpayer funds. According to the analysis by the advisory firm Conventions, Sports and Leisure, local governments pony up to build these venues to attract or keep teams in their towns. 2 more stadiums now under construction in Minneapolis and Atlanta are being built with $700 million in government funds. Taxpayers paid the most of the University of Phoenix Stadium, which opened in 2006 and is home to the Sunday Super Bowl to the tune of about $300 million. Teams even get tax breaks on the money they actually do spend on construction. Most of that spending is financed with tax-free municipal bonds, which were originally created by Congress to help fund roads and schools. You see that? This is the money that they told you your taxpayers, your tax money was going to, right? These are the lies where they tell you the money is supposed to go to. But where does it end up going to? It goes to this, right? It goes to this, right? And why are they doing this? Well, it's because this is how the government keeps the citizens satiated and calm. This is how they lower the temperature in the neighborhoods and amongst the people, right? You can't riot and you can't, consider how much you're getting screwed over when you're being entertained and fed. This is why there's so much cheap food here in America, even though a lot of it's fake and toxic. And this is why there's so much entertainment on TV. Okay? And besides that, what else gets pushed over on these sports games? Well, it tells you here on NPR, it says Pentagon paid sports teams millions for paid patriotism events. See, this is the reason why at the beginning of basketball games, baseball, NFL, hockey, you always see some sort of patriotism displayed, right? Being that veterans come out, airplanes fly over, they talk about, go Army and join your reserves and all that type of stuff. Well, it's because it's all part of the system. It's all part of the propaganda that gets pushed upon the world. And it isn't only sports, right? Remember, there's tons of breads and circuses here in Babylon the Great. And one of the biggest breads and circuses would be that of your church.
Going to church in Atlanta.
See all that singing and jumping, smog machines with lights, all that, right? But no edification, no understanding of what the Bible actually talks about, right? What are they talking about? Preparing themselves for the battle. What battle? They don't even understand what's going on. This is Proverbs 14 and 12. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Now, just as these people that were being deceived in these, Christian churches, right? That's just an example of the thousands of different videos that have come out that just shows the folly that goes on at these churches. But again, that's, we're digressing, right? We're talking about the sports entertainment world, right? See, we have people that are in this world who are fanatics, right? They are mega fans of these sports events, right? I have people in my family who go crazy for sports. They can't tell you anything about government or politics or what's going on, even though that's a bunch of BS anyways. But at least that gives you a bit more sense of reality, right? See, and real quick, that's another scripted entertainment, right? It's politics, right? Let's not forget about that. But the point being is that these fanatics, they can't tell you anything about any relevant topic about what's going on. Well, the majority of them, that is, right? And these people, they are completely taken up by these sports, right? They'll tell you the player's statistics. They'll tell you about where he played in college. They'll tell you about what's his special move. What's his health look like. Who's his sponsors. They'll give you all the details. But they can't, tell you one thing about the Bible. They'll tell you what they've heard, and they'll regurgitate what they believe is right in their heart. But they can't tell you about things that are relevant. They can't tell you about what's going on in the Middle East, what's going on with the economy. This is why, right? These people have been blinded. They've been set up in a way where they believe they're simply just relaxing for the weekends, or they're getting a little getaway from reality, right? When their reality itself is fake. The world we live in has been orchestrated and set up. It is the true matrix which we are caught within. This is Mark 4 and 18. And these are they which are sown amongst thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. See, this is what's going on with these people who are caught up with the scripted entertainment, be it wrestling, sports, music, movies, racing, all these different things that you see on the TV, right? And why is that? Well, because you see, they have been feeding the people a false reality, right? And why is that being done? Well, you see, the way that Esau, let's go and take a look at the timeline because I got to bring this up. See, when Esau had made plans to take over the world, he had to figure out a way to basically hypnotize the masses, right? To basically cast his message and his programming and his spells out to the world, right? And he did that by creating a way to broadcast his messages, right? His programming, right? This is why these words all have meanings when it comes to the television business, right? So the TV was invented in 1927, right? By a man that says television is invented by Philo Farnsworth and would go on to hypnotize the world for Esau's control over the masses' minds, right? So this is why you see in the early 1900s, you see the big creation of these major sports leagues, right? Where you had, local organizations, merge together to create the, MLB, the NFL, the NBA, and whatnot, right? This is why these organizations have been given an exception from monopolies. See, and that's why? Because it is being used as a programming. This is also another reason why you hear about Disney, right? Walt Disney having connections to the CIA, and just like, who was it? Hugh Hefner had also connections to the CIA, and they both started these entertainment arms so that way they could have something to push to the public. See, this is the way that Esau has deceived the masses, or continues to deceive them, by bread and circuses. And this was something that was done back in the old days. Let's watch this.
Give them bread and circuses, and they'll never revolt. The Roman Empire faced a significant challenge in 140 CE with a growing population and increasing class divide. The citizens were hungry, bored, and ready to revolt. To keep control and maintain favor among the masses, the Roman consuls offered free food through the grain dole and organized free events for citizens to enjoy, including gladiator games and sporting events. Kind of like giving a pacifier to a fussy baby. The idea of bread and circuses, pacifying the masses with food and entertainment, did not die with the Roman Empire. Instead, it has been reimagined, reincarnated, and released into today's world. The circuses are no longer limited to stadiums and arenas. They are broadcasted from screens in our living rooms, screens in our hands, screens on our eyes, and pretty soon chips in our brains. With endless media to consume, our society focuses more on celebrity drama and football games rather than things that actually matter. Like laws that strip us of our rights and illegal wars waged on sovereign nations to advance the New World Order agenda. The spirit of both men and women has been pacified with an unlimited flow of free pornography, violence, circuses, and the idol worship of grossly overpaid athletes and celebrities. We've been trained to live vicariously through the pixels on our screens instead of fulfilling our own destinies and taking what is rightfully ours in the world. Hollywood and modern sports like football have become powerful distractions used to appease our carnal nature and numb us to reality. We've grown so accustomed to the convenience of technology and constant entertainment that we've become blind to the dangers that we face. By diverting our attention with these vices, we've become passive observers of the world around us, rather than active participants in shaping our own future. Anyway, who's down for some football and pizza?
So there you go. These TV and entertainment, the bread and circuses, like that video says, make us into passive observers instead of active participants. You see, you can't win the race if you've been lied to be told that there is no race and you're just sitting on the sidelines. But this is why when you look at what Esau is doing, or the upper echelon of society, they don't watch TV, right? And also, most people that are into this truth or just doing well in general, they don't tend to occupy themselves with entertainment. Not on a level that the average US citizen, an average Babylonian citizen does. I myself have TVs in my house, but I can tell you everything I watch is either like a movie or it's something online, right? I don't watch TV, right? I'll watch news, and if I do want to watch something to relax to, it'll be a movie that I select, not something that's on TV. But for the masses, they just don't see it. And why is that? Well, because it's easier to just follow a program than it is to think for yourselves. And that's the sad thing. And we all know what the Bible says, that 2/3 of our people, that's 2 out of every 3 Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and anybody whose father's lineage goes back to that bloodline, are going to ultimately not see the light and not going to wake up. They're going to be caught in their distractions and ultimately are going to be destroyed. This is 2 Corinthians 4:3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of the Messiah, who is the image of God, should shine onto them. So you see that? This right here tells you that the people who disregard this truth, when they walk by the camps, they see these videos and they'll just skip right past them and not pay any attention, right? They hear anything to do with the Bible and they just kind of wave their hands or just kind of roll their eyes and they move on to something that's more interesting to them. Well, that's because they've been blinded by the God of this world. Now notice here that the word God is a lower G. And what that indicates is that this is not the God Most High, Yahweh, right? But it's the God of this world, meaning that who is the God of this world? Well, that would be first and foremost Esau, Edom, the so-called Caucasian race, which currently rule the current world and are the masters of it. They are the gods of the world. And don't take my word. Let's listen to Esau admit it himself.
We are going to become gods. Period. If you don't like it, get off. You don't have to contribute. You don't have to participate. But if you're going to interfere with me becoming God, you're going to have big trouble. Then we'll have warfare. The only way you can prevent me in this 50 or is to kill me. And you kill me, I'll kill you.
So you see, these devils, they know that they're the gods of this world. And now they're literally are trying to make that happen. We've all seen the videos of that devil, that small hatter, Nora Harari, saying that they are the gods now, that they can create life. They don't need God anymore. They can create their own water and whatnot. You see, these devils have deceived themselves with their own pride. And this is why the Lord ultimately is going to destroy them. But again, before he destroys them, he's hardening their heart and rising their pride, so that way when the fall comes, it'll be a great fall. And as for us, this is the best mindset to be in right here. Let's read it. This is Psalms 19 and 34. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my whole heart. Make me to go in the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my heart unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in thy way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to thy fear. Turn away my reproach which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed for thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. And that is the mindset that us Negro, Latino, Native Americans should be in. And we know that at least 1 out of every 3 Negro, Latino, Native Americans, plus the 144,000 elect, are going to be in this mindset. So again, if you are striving in this race to reach salvation, to be taken out from the coming destruction, this is how we should model ourselves to be, Akim. This is a perfect psalm to set our path on, or set our goals upon, right? So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. I wanted to show all of you brothers and sisters what is behind these bread and circuses, how we got to basically understand that these are all fake, right? It might be entertaining, and it's fine to take in a game here and there, but we can't let it overwhelm us. And for those who are consumed by it, share this video with them, show them, right? It's the same thing when we were kids and we used to watch WWF, right? Well, at least when I used to watch it, it was called WWF, right? But now it's called WWE. When we used to watch wrestling when we were little kids, we thought it was real, but when we found out it was all scripted and fake, that shine, that polish kind of just came off of it. And you know, Lord willing, a lot more people wake up from this trance that Esau's putting out to the world. So hopefully this video was edifying. Until the next time, let's give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Kokodash. Shalom.